Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Akshay Study Abroad Consultants, I warmly welcome you all for today's webinar on Study in Australia, a complete guide. First of all, we are really glad to see such an enthusiastic participation from students and parents who are keen to know the various opportunities in Australia. And obviously, Australia is like becoming one of the most preferred destinations these days for study particularly, and that too for Indian students. Now, when we consider about Australia, it offers a perfect blend of globally recognized education, practical learning, post-study work opportunities, and very strong career prospects. However, we definitely understand that when you are planning for abroad studies, there might be a lot of questions in mind, right? Starting from which course or which university to choose from, to understanding various cost factors, scholarships, visa processes, and the future opportunities. And definitely, I would say that that's exactly what we aim to help you out today with this today's session. In this session, we'll be covering all the key aspects of studying in Australia and will guide you through the complete and detailed process in a very clear and practical way. Also, to make this session very impactful and useful for all of you, we have designed it in a question and answer format so that we can directly answer your specific concerns. So, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce and invite our expert for today, our director, Mr. Amit Gore, who has been guiding students for more than 24 years for their study abroad thing. And moreover, sir has an experience of assisting more than 1,000 plus students to get into the highly reputed universities of Australia with maximum scholarships. So, sir, I welcome you for this particular session, and definitely you will be leading the today's session. So, really welcome you for that same thing. And thank you for joining us today. So, your insights would be really helpful for our students.
Thank you, Saini, and good evening all. And I'll be answering some of the most frequently asked questions about Australia. And then obviously the session will be open for question and answer round as well, where if you believe the things which are not covered in these question answers, you can go ahead and ask those for us in session. Thank you, Saili, and thank you all. And I'm looking forward for the further session now.
Right. So now we'll be starting with the actual session. Let's begin with it. Yes. Now we have the very first question coming up. Yeah. So the question is, obviously, as we discussed, that Australia is actually a most preferred destination. So, sir, how will you rate Australia as study destination for Indian students?
Yes, this is a very good question to start the session actually. As far as Indian students are concerned, Indian students are academically very strong. They are hardworking. They are sincere. So Australia is definitely the best fit for such students, those who are looking forward to work very hard during their education tenure and, work part-time mostly. So any student who is looking forward for earn good amount of money by part-time jobs when you are a student. Secondly, a student who is willing to settle down in that country, Australia can be an incredible thing for those Indian students. I will rate Australia very high, maybe a first or second priority for most of the Indian students. And what we have recently observed since last 6 months or a year is a lot of students are coming with the inquiry specifically for Australia. Okay, which is something which is very encouraging when it comes to studying in Australia for Indian students. And the numbers have also gone very high. Since last year, 24 to 25, we have seen more than 100% increase in number of students going to Australia. I think last year, ACC has sent 61 students to Australia, which is in itself a big numbers for us. We generally used to stay around 35, 40 students. Suddenly, we have sent 61 students last year. And this year already, I think 52 visas are done. 52 students are in pipeline. And for the February intake, I guess we have got 22 visas done already. And some 50 students are in pipeline. So numbers will go very, very high. So that is something which is very encouraging for all. And yes, so I will rate Australia as very high priority for Indian students. Those students, those who are looking forward for good education, at the same time able to work hard, work part time, and earn good amount of money as well.
So in that case, sir, as you mentioned that Australia is a very specific country, and again, like it is actually getting very popular these days. So would you like to name ki which universities are very popular or they are very reputed in Australia?
Okay, I will take this question in two parts actually. One, the question says which universities are good in Australia. So I will say all universities are good in Australia. There is nothing which is good or bad when it comes to universities. But you said which are popular ones or which are reputed. As per the QS rankings, if you go, more than 4 to 5 universities are in QS 200 rankings globally, and they all are a Group 8 G8 universities of Australia. You start from University of Sydney, UNSW, which is University of New South Wales, Monash. Then comes University of Western Australia in Perth, Adelaide University. So there are a group of 8 universities which are considered to be prestigious universities of Australia and in the entire world. But they are a bit expensive. Their costs of education can be a little higher on a higher end, and their acceptance criteria is also more strict as compared to other universities. Totally, there are 46 universities in Australia, 46, and most of them are public universities. I think, according to the data, 39 universities are public universities. That means they are government colleges, and remaining 6 to 7 universities are private ones. So Australia has less number of institutions, but quality institutions. They are of high standard, high quality, and so I will say all are good. If you are okay spending more amount of your education and want that prestige to be with you, then choose Monash, choose UNSW, choose University of Queensland, which has got more reputation. But that doesn't mean that if you don't choose these universities and go to some other universities, to name few universities like RMIT Melbourne, Griffith University Gold Coast, Macquarie University, which is in Sydney, QUT, Queensland University of Technology, which is in Queensland, and there are many more such universities. UTS, which is in Sydney, they all are highly reputed. So students can study any university of Australia. No worries as far as the quality and standard of the universities are concerned.
Sir, that's actually a very insightful answer. So obviously, I would like to know that as you mentioned, ki Australia is a country which is actually focusing more over the quality and obviously considering the number of institutions and all. So would you guide us ki who is an eligible candidate to study in Australia, or particularly for which students Australia is going to be the best destination?
Yes, Australia is looking forward for quality students and genuine students. There is a concept called as a GTE, genuine student entrant, temporary entrant, GTE. So they are looking forward for those students, those who are really capable of completing their bachelor's or master's or a PhD degree in the in Australian universities, which they have chosen. They also are looking for students, those who are capable of funding, self-funding or funding through their families or funding to education loans to that particular university. So it is said that when a student is coming to us, or whenever a student is aspiring for Australia, student has to show sufficient finances, which is a bit difficult or bit critical than other countries, that they should show it to the university and to the visa office that they are capable of funding them. So Australia is a bit stricter on these criteria. So any student, any family who can fund their child or son or daughter for around 40 lakhs on paper for 2 years, this is for Australia is for you. Australia is for you. Okay. And any student who is ready to work hard, physically very fit, and can do a lot of work, because in Australia you can work part-time and 48 hours in 15 days. So you can earn good amount of money. So any student who is capable of working hard, Australia is for you. Okay, so Australia is a very good destination, and it's for everyone, because if your academics are a bit low, there are universities which will accept you. Obviously, G8 universities might not accept you, but some other good universities will accept you. If you have backlogs, certain backlogs, like around 8 to 10 backlogs, still Australia can be your destination. Even if you have a year gap or something like that while doing studies, it is for you. So Australia is definitely for anyone who is a genuine student. If you believe that I will go there, I will study, and then I will work or settle down, that is a destination. If you believe that I will just go there for the sake of going, will not focus on studies, will focus on something else, then I wonder, like, Australia may not be the destination for you. So any genuine student, Australia is good destination, and whatever I have seen in city of Nasik or nearby places or even metros like Mumbai, Pune, students are very genuine. Whatever we get, as ma'am told in the beginning, that I have guided around 1,000 students to Australia, and I think more than 950 are settled there, and they are very happy. So that shows that is a testimony that our students are very genuine, very good. So yes, Australia for everyone. Australia is for everyone. Come to us. We will make sure that you go to Australia in a right manner.
Right, right. So now, like we have already started with the financial discussion. Obviously, my next question was related to that only, because it is usually heard that the cost of education is very high in Australia. It's very expensive option. So, how would you rate about the cost of education in Australia?
Yes, cost of education in Australia on paper is very high. At times it can be higher than US, UK also, because if you want to study for your masters, you need to study for 2 years, that is 24 months. And if you want to study for your bachelor's, you can study either 3 years or 4 years. The yearly tuition fees of the top ranked universities like G8 universities can be 40-45 lakhs as well. And the tuition fees for a mediocre rated universities can be around 30 lakhs rupees every year. So if you multiply it by 2, the tuition fees itself becomes 60 to 80 lakhs on paper, plus the living expenses which will be added. So a budget can go more than 1 crore Indian rupees for G8 universities, and for mediocre universities it goes up to 70 to 75 lakhs. But none of the students even spends half of it. I have not seen a student, at least out of this 1,000, those who have spent more than 50 lakhs rupees on the education. Even not even 40 lakhs. Many of them have just spent 20-25 lakhs on the education. So this comes the actual cost of education, because students will get scholarships, plus they will get good part-time jobs. So students should not worry about the living expenses. They should worry about the tuition fees. So the mediocre university where the tuition fee is 30 lakhs rupees a year, total fees 60 lakhs, student can get up to 25% of the scholarship. So tuition fees comes 45 lakhs, and student can recover minimum 5 to 10 lakhs rupees from part-time jobs, even the tuition. So the living, so the total cost comes to 35 to 40 lakhs. I'm yet to meet a student. Who has spent more than 60 lakhs rupees or 50 lakhs rupees education. I'll be very happy to meet such student. If I get a student who will come and say, I'll not work part-time, I have spent 60-70 lakhs rupees. So I'll be very happy to meet such student. Okay, because I'm telling this with a lot of confidence, because I have guided a 1,000 plus student, and I'm in touch with at least 500 out of them. And everybody is saying that part-time jobs are coming easily, and we are earning good amount of money. Yes, while going, the cost was 1 crore or 80 lakhs or 70 lakhs, but reality we have spent 50% or less than that. So 35-40 lakhs rupees can be a very good budget for a student who is a genuine, again, I'm telling a genuine student, a student who will really work. Then for that student and academically good student, a very good budget, 35 to 40 lakhs in Australia.
Great. So now as we are discussing about the financial part, and definitely most of the students would be eager to know how exactly they should plan about it. So you majorly mentioned about two things. One was scholarship opportunities and the other one was part-time work opportunities. So before these two, like, will you just put a light on what kind of scholarship opportunities are available for students?
Yes, in Australia, there are a lot of scholarships which are provided by the universities. Even the G8 universities are providing study grants to students, which can cover up to 10 to 15% of the tuition fees every year. Some universities do have scholarship which are as high as 25% of the tuition fees. But students will not get more than this. I'm going to say there are scholarships which can even cover the full tuition fees, but they are less in numbers, not like other countries where you may get a full scholarship. Okay, like for example, in certain European countries, you get full scholarships. There are no tuition fees also. But in Australia, if the tuition fee for the 2 years is 60 lakhs, it can reduce up to 45 lakhs, not below that. Okay, so 25% you can expect max to max scholarships, but they are available for good student, academically strong profiles. And I have a lot of students, those who received those 25% scholarships. But if you are looking for 100% scholarship, Australia may not be the country for you. I'm not saying you won't get it, but say out of 12,000 students they accept every year, maybe 10 students or 5 students are given for all more than for 25% scholarship. So when it comes to scholarships, I will say 25% is a cap which you can consider, but that becomes a good amount of money because 1/4 of the education has been sponsored by you. And again, remaining 1/4 out of 3/4, 1/4 you can take by the part-time job. So if the tuition fee is 60, you can get it down to 30 lakhs in couple of years, which is a good achievement actually.
Right, right. So it seems ki scholarship, obviously the chances are quite competitive. But one thing that is in students' hand is to offer good part-time jobs. So that we'll be discussing somewhat later. That would be the latter question. But yes, again, a very important part ki when it comes to the visa thing, as you mentioned about the finances and all. So again, that's a question which most of the students have ki is Australian student visa really very difficult to obtain?
I will say no because I have expertise in that, and my team like we have a 100% visa till date. So I will never. I have not seen a student getting rejected in these 1,000 students. I have not seen in last 10, 12 years any student visas getting rejected. For us, yes, there are rejections which happens in pan India level, and a lot of non-genuine students get rejected. So Australian student visa is not difficult according to me, provided students are guided properly. Students and parents, they are guided properly by someone like us, or by the university or the people. They're guided properly. If you're guided properly, then student visa is just a process. I will say rather than difficult, it's a long process. You will have to collect a lot of documentations, so you should be ready. I remember last year, that is 2025, I met some parents at least 10 times for the visa, at least 10 times. So you can understand the patient level that those parents were having, and they came regularly to me, and then we made the documents, and the students applied. But mostly within 2-3 meetings, students gather the documents and ready. But sometimes if the papers are not ready, then students and parents, they need to be patient and prepare the documentation. Australian student visa needs that you show 1 year of cost, including living expenses, either in your bank account, either in fixed deposits or through the education loan. And for that, all the supporting documents needs to be arranged. And importantly, there has to be a good family income source, which has to be documented. But if we get a student telling that I don't have the family income, we don't do it. There are options, there are solutions by which we help the student, try and help the student and get the papers done on time, and we file the visas on time. Okay, so Australian student visa is not difficult, but yeah, it's a long process. So you'll say you need to be patient and spend 2-3 months with us, because for July intake now, July 26, I think we have filed 4 visas now, and daily my team is meeting at least 10 students and parents at our office. If someone comes, I can show you those places where they meet the parents and students. 10 appointments daily, and so my team is very busy in that. And we started work in February for July intake, and only 4 visas are filed yet. May we will be filing more than 25 visas now for the July intake. So yeah, visa process is good provided you have a very good people, that those who are going to help you out.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. That was really a very detailed insight. And I know ki, like most of the students, they would be quite relaxed now knowing about the visa part. So yes, moving ahead now, as I mentioned, we had just little bit skipped the question. We focused on the visa thing, but again, coming to the financial part and all. So the most important question ki, what exactly are the part-time job prospects in Australia?
Okay. Now, before we actually answer part-time job, we should understand the population of Australia. Population of Australia is very less. It's around 3 crores. So, and the land is huge. So they are short of people. They are shortage of people. Okay. So there are hotels, restaurants, malls where there are positions open because they don't get people coming and working there. Okay. So there are ample of part-time jobs everywhere, every corner of Australia. Only thing that they are challenging physically, especially students from India, they are not used to part-time jobs. I know if you are doing your graduation, nobody has worked in hotel, restaurant, or chain of restaurants, or malls, or shopping complexes, or in parking, or car washing, or petrol pumps. Nobody of us has worked. So that is something which is very important. You get all these part-time jobs. If you are a computer engineer, don't expect that you will get a part-time job in an IT company and you will work on computers. If you are a doctor or you are a physiotherapist and you're going for a public health program, don't expect that you will get job in your hospital or something like that. No, you will have to do these jobs. It can be in restaurants, it can be in deliveries, it can be in parkings, it can all places the jobs are available. Okay, they are paid good. There are minimum wage rates in every city and they are very high. A student can comfortably earn by working part-time the entire living expenses plus certain amount of money will be saved for the tuition fees as well. In the vacation, student can work full time and earn double than what they generally earn in the study period. But only part-time jobs are going to be physically challenging. They are going to be little laborious. Obviously, they use all the technologies, machineries. If you're a dishwasher, doesn't mean you will actually take what you call water and powder and you will actually wash the dishes. No, it will be on a machine. It will be in a dishwasher. Only thing is you'll have to do that. Okay. Apart from this, certain beauticians, hairdressers, if you have diplomas in that and you are good in the beauty treatments or working with beauty parlor, salon, your fees are very high in Australia. So if you have skills, you can work part time, and if you're in sports, for example, if you're a sports assistant, if you're assistant to coach, for example, if you're a player here, if you're a badminton player or a tennis player, and you are working in the academy as an assistant, you will earn huge amount of money. Whoever sports person I have sent to Australia, they have recovered entire amount of education, but they have sent more money in India also while they are studying in. I have examples. I can give it to the prospective students. A student of mine had sent 36 lakhs rupees to India during his 2 years of education because he was a tennis player and he was coaching in tennis. He was an international rated tennis player and it's huge salary he used to get. So such examples are also there. But majority of students, they have earned the entire living expenses plus 5 to 10 lakhs rupees of the tuition fees. That is what they have earned while they were studying. Obviously, with the hard work, complete credit goes to the students. Complete credit on them. It's not at all on us or their parents or anyone. It's students. Those are working very hard in Australia, and they are earning good amount of money. Rely on part-time jobs 100%. Don't worry, you will get one within 15 to 20 days even after landing in Australia. So part-time jobs are not very difficult to come by. Obviously, you should be ready to do those. On the problem is there should not be a no from inner side. You should be ready and you should be doing it. Forget what you're doing in India during your education. You're gone to a different place, different country, and a place where there is a shortage of people. Okay, country which is not highly populated. So you don't have n number of people. Like for example, if you want sweeper, we will get 10 number of people coming in and sweeping. Even if you give advertisement, you will not get sweepers in Australia easily, housekeepers in Australia easily. So this way there are shortage of people. There is a dignity of labor. So even if you are waiter in the hotel or you are a delivery boy, there is a dignity for the job. So don't worry about that dignity or prestige or whatever, but work. If you work part time, you will survive in Australia and you will earn more than half of your total study cost. Okay, and all my students are working. All my students, they work. Everyone works there in Australia. So part-time job, I have not seen a student coming and telling me I could not get a part-time job. Yes, there are countries like US, for example. Students tell that I could not get a part-time job. Even UK, many students were telling me that it took long to get one part-time job. But Australia, I have not seen a student who is saying there are no part-time jobs. So part-time jobs are ample, they are available.
Right, sir. So as you mentioned, ki there are ample of part-time opportunities, and obviously students would be taking benefit of it. But now everyone who is aspiring to go for higher studies, the ultimate question comes ki once they complete the degrees, what would be the actual full-time employment opportunities over there? So what would you suggest about it? What would be the opportunities, like the full-time work opportunities, I would say, in Australia?
Yeah, it's a very good question actually. And here we come in fix because as a consultant, we are very genuine people. I do not want to give rosy pictures to the people. Full-time work opportunities are competitive in Australia. Depending on the program you do, obviously, if you go for a program like AI, artificial intelligence, data science, parallel computing like quantum computing or robotics, health sector, jobs in health sector, jobs are good in numbers. So your chances of grabbing one job is very high. Okay, but if you do general management like international business management, HRM, human resource management, finance, maybe marketing management, plain MBA, or some other generic programs, you will struggle. You will definitely struggle because the jobs are limited. They are not very big in numbers. Certain industries are full form like hospitality and tourism industry. Okay, so if you work there as a tourism consultant or into hospitality, then yeah, you have good jobs in Australia. Okay, so yes, firstly, nobody can guarantee you a job in your field after you finish your program, even if you come out of a top ranked or a G8 university. Yes, the good part is you have time in Australia to settle down. For example, you complete a couple of years of course, minimum 3 years of post-study work visa you get to stay in Australia. So during these 3 years, you will have to search an employment which is suitable for you. A student who is good, who has done a very good education, has a degree which where you have completed a very good courses, and then you have done a lot of good networking, the chances of jobs are high. Sectors which I already told you, plus certain sectors in engineering, certain sectors in construction management, you have your good job prospects. You can say 50% of the students get jobs after finishing their masters or bachelors in the field of theirs immediately. Maybe remaining 20% or 30% will get the jobs within 6 months or 8 months of staying in Australia. But yes, there will be candidates, there will be students, those will not able to find jobs in their field. Okay, these are those students, those who are not serious about studies, they have not earned good degrees, they have not studied properly, they have just done the part-time jobs and enjoyed their couple of years in education, not done good networking. Their education is very generic. They do not have a very specialized skills with them. Then they will struggle definitely. Otherwise, overall the scenario is okay for getting a full-time work opportunities, but you have time for that. 2 years bachelor's or 3 years or 4 years of bachelor's, you get 3 or 4 years of post-study work visa, which is a very good period with you, where you can earn good amount of skills and experience, and they may work in your industry. But certain industry like health, computing, AI, robotics are doing good. 70% of the students do find jobs in the field and they work.
Great, great. So in short, we can say that when it comes to the study opportunities and the employment opportunities, obviously Australia is very well known now. But the most important, the most popular fact about Australia is that most of the students who are looking for a long-term residency, they also usually have this country in mind. So what would like you want to suggest when it comes to like how to exactly apply for a PR in Australia post completion of your studies?
Okay. PR, permanent residency, is always some minds of some students. Although we are not immigration consultants or immigration lawyers or company which guides in permanent residency. Obviously, there are different people in India as well as Australia. They help for this. But as in the field, I have gathered some knowledge from my students because many of my students have received PR now. Especially those who were born in 2012 to 2015, they all are resident of Australia now. What I know is things in past were easy. It was a bit simple. especially till 2017, I guess. If you have completed a master's and worked in Australia for a couple of years, anybody could have got a PR. This was a rule. I'm not sure again, but it was simple. But after 2018-19, when more and more number of students getting settled down, they are making it very strict. They are making it very strict. So time being, whatever the rules, they are not very easy. There is a concept called as SOL, Skilled Occupation List, okay, which Australian government has made. If you study in SOL and worked in SOL for a certain amount of period, maybe 2 years or 3 years, you become eligible for the PR. For example, you are a physiotherapist and you get registered as a physiotherapist. You are in SOL category, you get immediately. Okay. If you are an AI engineer or robotic engineer working in the field of AI for 3 years, your chances of PR is high. Okay. So permanent residency is a point-based system. Okay. Your education of 2 years or more also gives you some points. SOL list will give you point. Regional areas gives you point. Suppose instead of in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, if you are in, let's say, remote parts of Australia and staying there, then it will give value to your PR application. And there are so many different subclass and criteria and categories. An immigration lawyer can help. I, as a consultant, study abroad consultant, will always tell my students who are mostly 22, 23 years old, do not think more of PR now. Think of your studies and job later on. Prepare yourself for the job. Unless you get a good job in Australia, there is no point that you go for PR. Come on. We are not going to just sit home after getting a PR. So do not consider PR at the young age of 20 to 23 years. Yes, you should know that the PR policy of Australia is wide open. So as a student in Australia, you will go in 2026 or 2027. In long run, maybe after 6 years, 7 years down the line, you will be a probable candidate to get a PR. This is, I can assure you. But if you ask me the process of PR now, or not me, anyone, that is just a what do you call it? Just you are playing with your career. Because what you are asking now is actually required after 5 years from now. Okay, today you cannot apply for the PR. After 3, 4, 5 years, whatever rules they have made, accordingly you can apply for the PR. But yes, PR policy of Australia is open. It will remain open because the population of Australia is less. Okay, so if you consider a country like America, getting green card is very difficult. Very, very difficult. If you go to country, Middle East country like Dubai, you cannot become a citizen or PR of that country anytime. Okay, you can get a long-term visas, but not a PR of that country. Correct. But in country like Australia, yes, if you go there, if you study, if you work for a certain period of time, which I cannot tell you exact period of time, you will have a scope, a very good scope of getting settled down in that country. Okay, so don't think more on PR, think more on your education and jobs. That is what you as a young student should, and work very hard. You have to work very hard. Unless you work very hard, you will not be able to get a success in your life. Okay.
Right, right. And sir, obviously, we are very much mesmerized by knowing the numbers that you already have experienced. So we know that you have assisted more than 1,000 students to get into like the highly reputed Australian universities. So I would really like to know what are the feedbacks of your students who have pursued or completed their degrees from Australian universities?
Yes. Feedbacks are good. Okay, obviously there are certain negative feedbacks as well, and which I tell everyone. It's not that every country is only good. There are some negatives, there are some negative takeaways for any destination you go for. Positives, what my students have told me is lot of opportunities for hardworking people. If you are going to do hard work, yes, there are opportunities. Number one. Number two, even if in academically you are a little bit okay, I will not say you are dumb or very bad, but you are not the student who are getting 9-pointer or 8.5-pointer. You are a 7-pointer student, an average student, a second class grade student. Still, Australia can be offering you opportunities, and you will settle down in Australia. That is a very, very good part. My students tell me. Then students tell me that when you go there in Australia, do not keep a lot of rosy pictures in mind. Do not believe that Australia is so grown up or everything I will get easily. You have to struggle for everything. Even if you get one part-time job, which is easy to get, but to keep that part-time job is very difficult because your employer will expect you to work harder. Generally in India, when there are 3 people working in a restaurant, the same size restaurant, only one person will work in Australia. So you are actually working for 3 people in your shift. So one man is doing work of 3 people in Australia in other environments. So my students tell me it's very, very strenuous. And even girls, they work very hard. And boys in Australia, country like Australia. So girls also do all kind of jobs, all kind of works, and even they are physically fit like boys. But mostly it comes mentally, you know. Mentally, it's a tendency in India. Okay, I cannot lift this weight. I cannot work till 12 o'clock at night. My parents will not allow me. I'm a girl. I cannot work till 12 and all. These norms doesn't work in place like Australia. You know, you will have to be ready for that. You are a boy or a girl, doesn't mind. Okay, so these are the feedbacks, clear feedbacks I get from my students. Yes, then later on getting a full-time job, it's tough, but it's doable. If your grades are good, if you can crack the interviews, if your networking is good, you will find one job. Many of my students are working in these sectors like IT, hospitals, tourism industry, hospitality industry. They are working like anything. But again, as I said earlier, things have changed. And not just in Australia, entire part of the world, the competition has increased. As it is increased in India also. 10 years or 15 years before, getting jobs in India was not that difficult, but now it is becoming difficult here also. Here also companies are asking you 3 rounds, 4 rounds of interviews. So everywhere it is getting strict. So you should be ready. Don't believe that, okay, I've come to Australia, so I'm done. And now everything is a red carpet and I will get no. So feedbacks of students in short is you have to work very hard, number one, and you have to be ready for all the surprises and keep going, keep networking with people, socialize, and you know, get your success, and you will be successful. This is what my students tell. Nobody tells me that don't ask students to come to Australia. Everyone tells me ask them to come. Don't worry, there are opportunities. Only thing is prepare them, and this is what we do. Because if you type on Google or Google Gemini or on ChatGPT, you will get all the process what I am telling you here, or even whatever I have told you. ChatGPT or any other AI will give you more information than what I have given you, or anybody like of a person of my category will give you. Giving full respect to your search and what you are finding. What we do is we prepare you psychologically, we prepare you mentally, that okay, I will tell you exactly how it is going to happen once you land in Sydney, land in Melbourne, land in Perth, how it is going to happen, how your life will change in 360 degrees. None of the AI will tell you. That I can guarantee tell you. This is what it will happen with you, and for that, how psychologically you should be prepared is something which we take pride in explaining you and preparing you, and that's the reason our students mostly become successful, because they know exactly what they want to do and what is going to come on their head. Okay, what is come to it. I generally tell students more than what is actually going to come. I tell students that you have to work 8 hours at a stretch in Australian hotel. Actually, they go and they have to work only 6 hours, so they're happy. Oh, I am working only for 6 hours. I told them 8 hours. Okay, but if I would have told them, "Arey, hotel job, it's very easy. Just go, chill, 4 hours job, and then 6 hour job will come," they will say, "What has come?" So I prepare them for more tough things, and this is what we do. So we do study in Australia in a very different manner. Anybody can do study in Australia, but we do it in such a way that the student should be successful. Me and your parents are not willing to send you to Australia. What we are interested in, you should become successful. Obviously, getting Australian visa is difficult task. We will make it happen. But getting an Australian visa is not success. That is not a place when you will celebrate. Many students call me for the parties. They tell me, "Okay, sir, I'm distributing sweets, parties." I say, "No. Give me sweets when you actually get a job in Australia after a couple of years. That is the actual success." And this is the way we are very different. We are very different. We are very straightforward. We will tell you negatives also. We will not just tell you positives. We will tell you negatives also. Even after meeting you in the inquiry, I might tell you, don't go to Australia. Australia may not be for you. Be in India. Be in a good support of your family and parents, and spend good time here. Don't go and find a surprise in Australia. So we are very straightforward, very honest and candid people. And you are anytime welcome to interact with me, my managers or Australia team, where we'll make sure that you go to Australia in a right way. You used to go in Australia in right way. This is what we do. So feedbacks of my students, always tell me, send more students and send right students also. Don't send any Tom, Dick and Harry to Australia. Send somebody who deserves it. Send somebody who is capable of doing it.
Great. That was really very informative, sir. And obviously, I think we have already put light on the important aspects. But again, just to summarize the overall session and all, what are the important things you would like to say about Australia as a study abroad destination?
To summarize, I will say if you want to go to Australia, firstly gather all the information, meet people like us, understand what you will get, what you will not get. Once you have understood the correct picture from us, then make up your mind first. Okay, maybe you meet me tomorrow, that is Saturday. You can come me in month of August and tell me, sir, after 3 months of proper thinking, I have taken a decision that whatever you're told, I'm ready. I will go to the next possible intake, which can be November or February, whichever. Okay, so think properly, be prepared physically, mentally, financially. Your parents also should be ready to finance you and all the stuff, and then go to Australia. This is what I can summarize. Australia will be for you if you prepare it properly and be in a guidance of people like us. We will definitely make sure that you are guided in a nice manner, in a nice manner. So I would like to see those who are aspiring to study in Australia in my office. We've got two offices, both on College Road. The office where I sit is a counseling office, which is in D'Souza Colony near Domino's, where we will actually meet you one-to-one basis, and we'll work out for your Australia studies. As I told you already, we are very packed. We are targeting more than 50 students only in July intake, which is a very big number for us. But always welcome for more and more number of students. You will get companies also. One student now, yesterday I met 3 girls going to same university, that is RMID. So they are booking accommodation together and everything, because we help in everything, accommodation, tickets, everything we help. So that is all going on. So July is the next upcoming intake. If you are inquiry at this stage, I do not think July will be possible for you, but there are intakes in September and November coming up in 26 or 27 February. So we'll be with you, don't worry. So this is what I can summarize. And now you can take a break and start with the question answers if they have. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for those insightful answers and the practical guidance. I hope this entire information was very helpful and it must have gained clarity whoever is planning to go for study in Australia. So, as we have already covered up the important questions, I would now actually start with the question and answer session. So, anyone who wants to have any further information and would like to understand anything, please drop us just a question into the chat box and we'll be here to help you out. Yes, we have got a question. What is the minimum CGPA required for an MS in Australia?
It depends on the university, actually. A minimum requirement will be around 6.5 from Pune University. Here, the universities from India also matters. There is a concept called as NUSER guidelines. According to NUSER guidelines, the international universities, like universities from India, have been divided in 3 categories: class 1, class 2, class 3. Pune University is in class 1. So if you are from Pune University, you are 6.5, you are good to go. But if you are from certain university which is in class 3, then minimum requirement can be 7 or 7.5 as well. This is a minimum requirement. That doesn't mean the admission is guaranteed. G8 universities, they will require around 7.5 and above for certain courses. Certain courses are very competitive. So even they will reject students with 8 pointers also. But around 7 pointer if you have with minimum backlogs, I think you're good to go to Australia straight away.
Okay, sir. So we have one more question. What is the average tuition fee for master's program in an Australian university?
Average tuition fees, yeah. If you go with the universities which are G8, tuition fees can be as high as 40 lakhs, 42 lakhs a year. Okay, I'm talking universities like Monash or something of that category. If it's a mediocre university, it will be around 30, 32 lakhs rupees a year. There are even universities where the tuitions are less than 25 lakhs, very few, but there are. But average universities will have 30, 32 lakhs rupees per year as tuitions.
Okay, sir. There's one more student who wants to understand which are the standardized tests that are required for admission.
Yes, here you need only an English test that is compulsory. Okay, English tests are compulsory. Certain tests which are applicable in Australia are IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE, Pearson Test of English. They are accepted. Now, these three tests are accepted in every university of Australia. PTE is basically a body from Australia. So, if the student wants to go to only Australia, we recommend going. Last week, we did 11 admissions. I guess 11 students
Yes,
enrolled
sir.
for PTE, and 9 of them they are going to Australia. So, every 15 days, we have a PTE batches. So we get around 5, 6 students every week, but this time we got 11 because 9 students are interested in Australia. So PTE, if your Australia is fixed, but if you want to keep it universally open, then IELTS or TOEFL can be this. You mostly don't need exams like GRE, GMAT unless very particular programs or particular universities. Rarely they require GRE or GMAT. Otherwise, you are good with on the IELTS, TOEFL or PT. Anyone exam. Anyone exam.
Okay, so in continuation to the same question, a student wants to understand whether Duolingo is accepted by Australian university.
Very few. There are certain universities which do accept, but if a student has not taken DET, Duolingo, then I will tell him not to take. Better go for PTE because PTE is parallel with their Duolingo, so PTE student can take.
Okay, sir. There's a student who wants to understand how long does it take for the student visa process to actually work out?
Yeah, there is no thumb rule actually, but we say once we file a visa on the Australian portal, can take up to 45 days, 30 to 45 days. Most of the cases will get their answers. I have seen as long as 3 months also in the peak period. The students are getting late visa decisions. But what happens is preparing the documents, making SOP for the visa, and filing the visa takes more than a month. Okay, so for example, July intake, as I showed, we are planning around 50 students for this July. We'll be filing more than 40 visas by May 15th because then that will give you more than 60 days for the visas to come. Okay, but again, there is no first come first serve also. This is a little surprising. So if somebody has filed visa on 1st of May or 2nd of May, can get decision maybe within week also. Some students do get automatic decisions also, auto reply decisions like within few minutes or few hours also students get rarely. But mostly 30 to 45 days you can keep in mind that you get a visa decision.
Okay, sir. Now, obviously, as we are discussing about Australia as a very popular destination, there's one more question which has landed related to the safety part. A student wants to understand how safe is Australia for international students, especially in the major cities?
Yes. Now, this safety thing, which is asked to me for any country, not just Australia, even people ask this question for US, UK, Canada, everywhere. None of the place on this earth is safe, okay, including our country, including our city. For example, Nasik is also not 100% safe. So, safety is a concern which is always there. Now, as far as possible, Australia is concerned, if you're talking about the university area, if you're talking about the location of the universities inside the campus, they are safe. They are very safe. Okay. Certain part of certain cities like Sydney, Melbourne, they are little unsafe, especially if you are nightlife there. Mostly night, maybe after 12 o'clock at night, when people are drunk and all. Some things have already happened or they keep happening. So as a student should take certain precautions, which will obviously take even if you go to places in India also. If you go to metro cities in India like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, you will follow certain protocols for the safety. Similarly, same protocols you have to follow in Australian universities or Australian cities. Not going out alone at night, okay, moving in groups and all that stuff. But universities are very safe, extremely safe. None of the incidences have taken places in the universities, inside the campuses. If at all there is some mishap or some incidents takes place, they take it very seriously. They take it very seriously. So they have a proper systems to resolve. They have campus police. They have proper police system by which they try and resolve it. But yes, there are certain concerns in certain places. But if student is okay, student is following all the norms, I don't think My students have never noticed any bad incidences. Yes, but their friends or somebody in university, they have uh, encountered certain things sometimes, especially at night times in cafes, pubs, nightlife. Yeah, some things. But otherwise, more or less, it is safe for good student those who will follow study plan, study route, and keep safe. It is not a problem.
Okay, so now as
I
we
do
have
speak
already
about
discussed,
safety. I do speak about safety in pre-departure, I think, for half an hour every time. So
right, right.
become our student and listen to my safety things for half an hour in pre-departure.
Yes, in continuation to the same thing, sir, there's one more question. A student wants to understand how about the like accommodation provisions and about the girls' safety, particularly over there.
Yes, safety girls, boys, I will not demarcate as such because as I told you already, there is quite an equality between boys and girls. Girls need to be taking precautions, even boys need to take the precautions. Accommodations, yes. Accommodation is a crucial thing, and we do help in accommodations to every student. You'll surprised to know that around 50 students traveling this July, I think more than 40 they have booked their accommodations already. Already in month of March only they have booked it. Because early accommodation booking will give you the best apartment which is near the university, walkable or easy to commute distance, cheaper cost. Accommodation should be near the campus or near the metro or bus stop where you can reach the university max to max within half an hour because you cannot waste your time in commuting for 1 hour or more daily. You will have to reach the university in as early as 10 minutes, 15 minutes, max to max 20 minutes, so that you will save that time because time is very precious for you. So accommodation should be done near the university. University accommodations are mostly expensive and mostly for undergrad students. Postgrad students, master students mostly stay nearby areas by renting an apartment. There are private accommodations, there are studios, there are special room provisions in the common apartment. So there are a lot of options which are given by various accommodation providers, and we do help you. Mostly all the students are booked by us, and everybody is very happy as far as accommodations are concerned. But booking early for the accommodation is the key. If you book in month of June for July, you are not going to get a good deal. You will get a good deal only if you book 3 months in advance. That will be the perfect, especially cities like Melbourne, Sydney. You will have to book in advance for the best accommodations. But we do help, and you will get a good accommodation definitely.
Okay, okay. And sir, like within our presentation itself, we discussed who will be a eligible candidate because obviously the standards are very high and Australian universities are majorly focusing over quality. So there's a student who wants to understand whether a gap of around 3 to 5 years will that be acceptable to apply for a master's program in Australia?
This case is very critical. If there is an academic gap of 3 to 5 years, I will discourage the student. Yeah, student has completed a bachelor's degree 5 years before, and then student has a valid proof of activities which student has done, then student can go. We have sent students with a gap of 3 4 years after graduation, but if inside the studies a student has gaps of 3 5 years, then it becomes very critical, especially what is happening now in Australian visas. The student case is very weak. Still, unless we check the case, we cannot comment on it. But gap after studies is absolutely okay. No problem. No problem. Students are welcome. Anybody who is willing to study in Australia specifically, we are the largest organization in North Maharashtra, guiding around 50 plus students every year to good Australian universities. Our Australia team is very, very experienced. Everybody is having more than 10 years of experience. So we'll make sure that you are in very safe hands. There are no charges of the Australia process with us, so it's completely free of cost. If you want to join any training service, you can join. But even if you don't join training services, you can come to us anytime, and it will be completely free of cost for you. Only thing is, we will make sure that you are a genuine student. We'll check your case, and then only we'll be taking case. And that's all from me at the moment, Siley. And you can just conclude. Thank you all, and wish you all the best. And see you soon in the office. Thank you.